So it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 and compare it against the previous model, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, and see which one you should actually go and pick up. Now, I will definitely tell you, if you own the Watch 4, I don't think I would necessarily go up to the Watch 5 per se, but there are some advantages for the Watch 5 that maybe the Watch 4 isn't as enticing. But I will tell you, if you want to pick up either one of these things, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these watches, you couldn't probably tell the differences between either one of these. They look pretty much almost identically the same. On the front, they both have the same exact sizes. So you can get the 40mm size or the 44mm size between both. Now, another thing is the screen sizes, whichever way they're measured, are exactly the same as well. So, they're both 1.2 inches for the base models, but they go up to 1.4 inches as well, which is really nice. So I will tell you, from the outside on the front, they're pretty much almost the same exact thing. I don't think you could be able to tell that big of a difference if you got the same color variants. On top of that, I will say the Watch 5 has some features built in that actually look a little bit more, appealing to some people. Now, just even based on my experience of using this watch, I like the watch series, that Samsung makes. I love the circular design, and if I was comparing this to an Apple Watch, I kind of like having that original, watch type of layout. I feel like with the Apple Watches, they look a little different. With the Samsung Galaxy Watches, I actually do like a lot of how these things are rounded, which sounds a little bit more basic, but from their own website themselves, they actually implement and showcase some of the differences, because you can't really tell the differences, in my opinion, from using this watch day to day. I feel like they are very similar to one another. One of the main things that Samsung kind of, implements is advanced sleep coaching. So that's one 3-in-1 bioactive sensor, improved battery life, and optimized for everyday wellness. Now, the big thing that stands out to me the most here is the battery life standpoint. Apparently, the Galaxy Watch 5 has a little bit of a bigger battery size than the Watch 4. So I found, where we could probably find some of this information. So with the Watch 4, it had a 247 mAh battery inside of it. With the Watch 5, it now has a bigger 284 mAh battery for the 40mm size. Now, for the top tier models, it's a little bit of a kind of a bigger difference. I mean, the 361 mAh battery on the Watch 4 versus the 410 mAh battery on the Watch 5. So that is another big difference. Apparently from Samsung, they're stating that we can get up to 40 hours of, battery life from the Watch 4, but we can get up to 50 hours of battery life from the Watch 5. So that is another really cool thing, that we're getting that type of capability and that a little bit of an improvement on the Watch 5. So even though it may seem like a small, over a 50 mAh difference, you are still getting a really, big battery jump, because the battery sizes within them weren't even that big in the first place. So that is a really big thing to keep in mind. I also think that if you're feeling both in the hand, like I said before, I don't think you're going to be able to tell that big of a difference. I feel like the accessories that you can get on the Watch 4 or the Watch 5 are very nice, and I love being able to go ahead and change up the bands and change up whatever I want to. And I believe the bands between both are interchangeable as well. So that is another really cool thing that you're getting between both. Now, apparently from Samsung's own website, they state that the Watch 4 had the, aluminum metal frame with Corning Gorilla Glass DX Plus. But it's weird, because with the Watch 5, they say the same thing, but it's aluminum metal frame with sapphire crystal display. So it's a little bit of a different design, they gave with the sapphire crystal display on the Watch 5. Personally, like I mentioned, I can't really tell that big of a difference. Maybe there is, but personally, I just couldn't really tell that big of a difference between both. On top of that, as I said before, they give a few things between both. There's improved wellness sensors on the Watch 5. There is that advanced sleep coaching. And do I plan on using it? Probably not, but it's still a cool thing they added here too, which is really cool. So that's kind of a quick glimpse of basically the outside between both and all that. In terms of day-to-day use, you're probably not going to be telling that big of a difference between both of these models. If you want, I would probably just recommend, if you want to save the most amount of money, the Watch 4 is probably the better way to go for a majority of people out there. Now, the reason why I bring up that specific viewpoint is because the Watch 4 is still available in some ways from Samsung. I don't know how much longer they're going to be doing this, but it is substantially cheaper than buying. It's not substantially cheaper, at least from brand new from Samsung, but if you're willing to go in the used market, you can buy a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 for much cheaper than what it retailed for. They were practically giving these things away with some of these pre-orders, which is so awesome. So if you were to go and type in, Watch 4 on Samsung or Watch 4 Samsung on eBay, you can find a lot of these things for about $100, maybe $130. I'm seeing some right here for the base models. That is about $100 cheaper. Here's one for $110 that I'm looking at, certified or refurbished from eBay. This is a $110 watch. that used to just be $230 or whatever. So this is a substantial, I guess, cheaper price tag that you can pay for a really good quality Samsung watch. So I say this to say at the end of the day, these two watches are very, very similar. However, if you have the money and or you're getting a really good pre-order deal, I would recommend just going for the Galaxy Watch 5. It's going to last the longest amount of time. It's going to be a very good watch. But if you want to go for that, flagship of watches, going for the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro may be the better option for probably every single person watching this if you have the money. If not, if you want to save the most amount of money and get a really good quality watch, I think the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 is probably the one for you as well. I mean, that is a tremendous watch. It has a ton of capability built in still, and I don't see that watch going anywhere anytime soon. It still works on pretty much all your Samsung phones out there, and as long as it's still supported with software, you should be good to go for the most part. So that is pretty much it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.